The Amanda the Adventurer 3 demo came out just this last week, and I scanned every inch of this demo top to bottom, frame by frame, to find any secrets, and what I found will shock you. In fact, for the first time ever, I think I may have uncovered our first real glimpse at what Wooly looked like in the real world before he came into the Amanda show. I know that sounds crazy, but this is just one of many insane secrets that's hidden in this 15-minute demo, most of which are flying completely under the radar. And the stuff I'm about to show you doesn't just change how we see this demo, it challenges some of the most popular, long-standing theories in the entire Amanda community, especially the ones surrounding Wooly. So strap in, because in this video we're going to be decoding secret messages, discovering the true fate of the missing kids of Kensdale, and most of all, taking another look at the show's most enigmatic figure, Wooly. Enigmatic, is that the right word? I don't even know if I know what that word means. I'm just trying to sound smart. So the demo opens with an encrypted message to Aunt Kate from an anonymous source, saying that he's going to infiltrate Hamlin and that he's onto something big.
I got a good feeling about tonight. I think I'm close to something big.
He uses a voice modulator to hide his voice, but we can briefly hear what his regular voice sounds like in the beginning of the call.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey Kate, it's
me. I'm going in tonight.
Now, I cross-referenced this voice with every single character we know of in the series, but I couldn't find any matches. I even tried finding the voice actor's name, but it seems like the Amanda developer is keeping the voice actor's name a secret, which is interesting, so it seems like this is a new character entirely. Anyway, whoever this guy is makes his way into Hamlin headquarters, and the first thing I noticed are these ominous stone statues in the wall. Very creepy. Since we know that Hamlin is a cult, which we discussed further in a previous theory, I'm assuming that these guys were some kind of historical figures in the cult of Hamlin, possibly the founders or maybe even past leaders, I'm not sure. Also, quick heads up, moving forward, I'm going to be referencing a lot of my past theories, so if you're not caught up, don't worry, I'll recap everything in this video so you get everything you need to know, but you can always check out those older videos after this one if you need more context. Also, if you end up enjoying the video, please consider subscribing. It's free, you can always change your mind. And if I end up reaching 10K by the end of 2025, then I'll drop a diss track on Wooly.
Wait, what did he say fuck me for?
Sub right now. So as we make our way further into the chamber, we find ourselves in an office room. I scanned every desk and every corner of this room to see if I could find anything of note. Aside from a couple vague sticky notes, I didn't really find anything too crazy. I did find this one though, which has some kind of secret code on it. It looks like some kind of computer code sequence, but when I tried to decode it, the only sequence of characters I could get was ARR3.
Okay.
Probably nothing, but if anyone's got theories, drop them down in the comments. But here's where things get interesting. Scattered around the office are puzzles from the previous game. We got the weather puzzle from Amanda 1, the rooster from Amanda 2, and it's all just lying there in the office. And that immediately got my brain racing. How did these puzzles end up in Aunt Kate's attic during the events of Amanda the Adventurer 1 if they were originally inside Hamlin's facility?
How, Sway?
Well, if you've seen my Aunt Kate theory, you know where this is going. In that video, I proposed that somewhere between the events of Amanda 1 and 2, Aunt Kate snuck into Hamlin headquarters, which is not only how Riley got a hold of the secret tapes, but also what ultimately led to Kate's death. And now Amanda 3 has basically confirmed it. Because in the demo, we follow this unnamed associate of Kate who breaks into the Hamlin control room to download all the tapes we've seen across the series, like the security cam footage of Rebecca being taken. However, in both endings of this demo, the playable character ends up getting taken by Hamlin. So how did these puzzles and tapes end up in Kate's attic if this guy never made it out? It's obvious. Kate must have got them. This means that Kate, at some point, did sneak into Hamlin, likely through her secret bunker we see in Amanda 2. In the ending to the demo, this guy throws a red tape into this box, which means that Kate probably found this during her visit along with the puzzles, which is how we ended up with the security camera footage we find in Amanda 1 and 2. So yeah, as always, your boy was right on the money with that prediction. But wait, let's back up for a second. Before we even get to the security room, which has a plethora of secrets, we need to talk about what I discovered in the office conference room. First, there was this extremely unsettling painting on the wall, which clearly depicts a hooded man with a flute, which is clearly a reference to the Pied Piper of Hamlin. This confirms the community's suspicions that the Hamlin cult is connected to the story of the Pied Piper, an ancient myth about an evil man who kidnaps kids by leading them into the woods using a magic flute. But that wasn't really what caught my interest. Rather, it was the key card sitting at the edge of the table. Daniel McQuiggan, access level 3.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Now, why does that name sound familiar? Do you guys remember the In Your Neighborhood tape from Amanda 1? Yup. Danny McQuiggan was listed here in the credits as the Containment Specialist. But what does that even mean? Well, I have a theory, right? And yes, I know it's bold, but I have reason to believe that this Daniel McQuiggan guy might be Wooly.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Wooly isn't just some random employee of Hamlin. He's Danny McQuiggan.
Who?
Now, I'm not going to rehash that full theory because I already did break it down in a previous video, but the core idea is this. Wooly is a Hamlin employee and the true villain of The Amanda Show. He was planted into Amanda the Adventurer with the intention of keeping Amanda on track and trapped in the show, which is why he's listed as the Containment Specialist. However, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that the Containment Specialist role could also describe the process of putting kids into Amanda the Adventurer. Whether Wooly is Danny remains to be seen. To be clear, my theory is more focused on Wooly being a Hamlin spy than this guy specifically. But on the off chance that he is Daniel McQuiggan like I predicted, then this keycard could be our first real look at what Wooly looked like before his transformation into the show. Whether he's Wooly or not, clearly this Danny guy is important, so we'll have to see exactly what his role is when the game officially comes out. And hopefully we'll get a step closer to cracking the Wooly case, because I am losing my mind trying to figure out what is going on with this damn sheep. Now, using Danny's keycard, we gain access to a chamber deep inside the facility, and inside, we find rows of cryo chambers. And then there's this new Amanda episode. In the surveillance room, which is surrounded by TVs displaying live feeds from across the facility, we find a new VHS tape. This room on its own is packed with a bunch of strange details, but we'll come back to those. The tape itself shows Amanda and Wooly going on a scavenger hunt around town.
Today, we're on a super secret spy scavenger hunt.
Okay.
Can you help us find a door with 3 windows?
To help them out, we're sent back into the main room to match items from the show with logos printed on the cryo chambers, which immediately got me thinking, what exactly is in these things? Well, it's safe to assume that there's people in here. You can faintly make out human silhouettes if you look closely enough. But then I realized something. In order to solve the episode's puzzle, you literally need to match objects from the show to these chambers. Oh my god. These aren't just random people. These are the missing kids. The kids that were kidnapped by Hamlin and have been trapped inside the show. Each chamber is labeled with the object that represents them in the episode, like this one for example, the dirty sock. That's not just a puzzle piece, that's a whole kid. Hey! So that explains what's going on with these tanks, but then there's the secrets I discovered in the security room, which were a lot more bizarre. First of all, there's these cassette tapes you can interact with that activate a series of blinking lights. Now, I literally spent hours of my life writing down the sequence shown here, frame by frame, and I tried to translate it into Morse code or binary, but I could only get these nonsensical letters. I'll put them on the screen just in case I miss something, but I'm pretty sure these don't mean anything. But that's not really what caught my attention. In fact, this next discovery I found was so bizarre, so disturbing that it actually really creeped me out. So at the top of the security monitors, we see footage of 3 things. A live feed of a school playground and 2 separate angles of a baby sleeping in a crib.
What the fuck?
At first, I thought it was the same baby, maybe just different camera angles, but then I noticed that the baby on the right is wearing a different shirt. That means that these are 2 different babies. And that's when it really hit me. This wasn't just unsettling, it felt just completely out of place. Like, why is Hamlin monitoring newborns? It was so unexpected that I genuinely couldn't even begin to guess what this could mean. I mean, every secret I've shown in this video in one way or another ties back to stuff we already know about the previous games or theories that I made in the past, but this was just completely out of left field. Why would Hamlin need 2 newborn babies under surveillance? Tell me why. And it gets even creepier. There's a baby monitor on the desk, which means that someone was actively listening in, which means that they're watching them in real time. This isn't archived footage, it's a live feed. Clearly these babies are significant in some way if Hamlin is watching them this closely, but the question is why? Well, riddle me this, Batman. What separates a newborn baby from a child? Well, a baby is a blank slate. No memories, no attachments, no concept of reality. The perfect starting point for total and complete manipulation. So, what's Hamlin's plan here? Is this a classic case of cult manipulation? Are they raising these babies to eventually join the Amanda show? Are they the next generation of Amanda the Adventurer being raised in the simulation from birth? Well, okay, hold on. Let's not forget, this demo takes place 10 years in the past. The actual Amanda 3 story begins with Riley in the present day, which means that these babies, they're all grown up now. At least they should be, but we haven't seen any signs of them. No clues, no mentions, no tapes. And honestly, that's what creeps me out the most. It's like they vanished. So, what happened to them? Were they raised to be sacrificed in some twisted cult ritual? Were they meant to just become another kid trapped in the show like the ones in the cryo chambers? Maybe, but something about it just feels bigger than that. These babies feel important, but I can't quite put my finger on why.
I guess we'll never know.
I can't say for sure what's going on with these babies, but one thing's for certain. Hamlin isn't raising newborns in secret without a reason. As for the schoolyard feed, since every other camera is either inside or outside Hamlin's creepy underground lair, it's pretty safe to assume that this tells us exactly where they're operating from. Hamlin's secret base is underneath a kid's playground. Because, you know, if you're gonna run an illegal secret child kidnapping operation, why not build your base directly under a kid's park? It's low-key genius.
You smart.
As far as Wooly goes, I'm not 100% confident that he's this Danny guy, but I'm almost certain he's a Hamlin employee, and he's definitely not Sam. But the more episodes I watch with Wooly, the less sure I am of anything. The only thing I can say for certain is he's evil and bonded to some kind of demonic entity. With all that being said, though, that is going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed, show your boy some love. And with all that being said, this is Marzilla signing out.